A man of value should love himself. A man that sees value in himself ought to love himself. And I know we live in a time where value is translated into some lofty ideology where you have to have six figures and you have to be a certain height and your body needs to be a certain shape and six packs. No, we need to stop with that. Not everybody has to be conformed to a certain template that certain individuals are put together. A man of value is a man that's born on this earth and is about something. He's got a vision, a burning desire to be something. Now, your value is not only that when you share an ideology with somebody and it resonates with you and they say, oh, wow, that's such a good idea. No. Value is when you've determined in your heart to be something and you're going about doing it. The problem occurs for a lot of men when we interact with females because we come across them with a sincere desire to be in love. Most men are at a young stage, and most females do know this. They may deny it and they say guys are guys are jerks, dirt bags. But most females know this. Young guys generally just want to be in love. It's females that generally have the wandering eye to begin with. Men at a young age do not have a wandering eye. It's when once they've learned the behaviors of the females, that's when they develop. It's almost like a defense, a shield response to the behavior of the females. But the point I'm trying to make in this video is that the value you bring is not dependent on what the female's telling you it is. When you're 18 years old, as far as society is concerned, you got no money, you got no value. But when you're out, I'm telling you that when you're 18 years old, if you have a dream and you're working on something, you present so much value. Because some people, you meet them at the age 50 and they did nothing with their lives. As you can see, an 18-year-old, he applied himself, he's dedicated himself, and you can see he's about something. So the value you bring needs to be worthy of self-love. Women are good at cutting men down with their tongues. Oh, you just a jerk. You're just a loser. You ain't nobody. And that's why, to some extent, unfortunately, for us to be successful, we need to abstain from the presence of the female because they're not exactly the best cheerleaders. They love us when we win. They love us when we're up. But when you're starting out, look, I'm not saying it's every single female, but I'm speaking from a general sense because I've observed this. So the self-love is important. If you ask a woman, were you born valuable? She won't tell, of course I was. So if you ask the same person, do you believe that a man, when he was born valuable? They say, of course he was born valuable because they cannot, But if you say, do you think a lot more men bring value to the world? A lot of females don't. They would say, based on their dating experiences, they'll say, no, most men don't. They're just jerks. Because they start to discount the value that we bring to the world because they're not engaging in their own personal emotional response to the circumstances. On the base level, we're all valuable. But on the base level, females value themselves more than they do value men. On a base level, men value each other based on what they do for each other. I like Pete over there. He's good at mechanics. He's a good gardener and so forth. So men, unfortunately, we gauge based on our performance. But I believe that as we build ourselves as people, as men, we need to value and love ourselves. So much so that if a female is not in line with what we're saying or what we're doing or what we're trying to achieve or our vision, or they're crapping on our program, let them go. Self-love is to self-direct. If they want to self-love by dismissing us, let them go. They shouldn't have to value themselves greater than us. let them value themselves out of the market. We need to value ourselves in proportion to who we are. And oftentimes we undermine ourselves. They value themselves oftentimes in spite of them not bringing genuine value. I'm not discounting beauty. Beauty is a value, but it's depreciated value. But if you're building something, if I'm building a skyscraper and you found me at the foundation level, by the time I'm done in 10 years, is that thing worth more or less? It would be worth more because it's now a complete structure. So most men are undervalued at the jump. And then they're sold this ideology that even if you built a skyscraper, you're still not worth as much as I am. So I want to bring forth this word to encourage young men and older men that value your efforts, value who you are, and self-love. And don't direct your path towards those that just trump on you, use you. Because most women are overconfident. And even if they're not super attractive, they'll try to belittle your efforts and try to belittle your looks or your style. Why do you wear your hair like that? This video is not about trying to dismiss women's contribution to life and society, but it's about to esteem men to value themselves and self love. I've said enough. Peace, love, and blessings.